how guilty we feel. My mother always has feet issues. Neptune. Se pasa la semana al podiatra. So that's a way to break it down. You see guilt, you see the planet, you know what it means, or the body part, they're going to be prone to that illness, specifically with Virgo. And that's with any planet, but especially ancestral. And you probably can connect ancestrally people with that ailment. GI would be a common one, of course. Things like that. So you have a moon in Virgo, like my sister. The mother might have GI stuff, she might have GI stuff, and my mother and my sister both have GI stuff. Well, our whole family. Because everyone's a Virgo or a Pisces. So we all carry GI stuff. So eso es parte de culpa. And when you have religious persecution and you have an exodus, you carry guilt because of the guilt that those that left behind.
Right.
That's right. So there's that survivor's guilt, just naturally. Yeah. You're going to find women that have this are going to be very hardworking. And anyone who has this are going to be very service-oriented. So I worked with a dear friend of mine many years ago in Chinito, and he has this. Lo más servicial. Anything. The other day, he texted me, what do you need? Years passed. It's that kind of servicio. Okay? They're people that are of the earth, of a campo. Because it's, remember, it's Gaia. And they tend to be more feminine. So whether they have Saturn and Virgo on the right or the left side, whether they're male or female, their energy tends to be more feminine. And this guy is very masculine. He's very good looking. He's built. Pero tiene esa cosa, una ternura femenina. So it has nothing to do with sexuality. It just has to have that they have that feel. Okay. You must be meticulous and organized. They tend to have OCD, of course. You have to be useful. Like, you have to be useful. You should be able to use your hands. Do something technical. Mi mamá, yesterday my daughter said this. Había un cordón, and we were at the hospital. My mom hadn't gotten there yet, and she tells the girl that we were with, my mother can make you a dress out of this cordón. The hands. Remember, it's Virgo, quirón, quiromancia, quiropráctico, cirugía, the hands. So you should be good with your hands. So they're good at technical. So if you have a Saturn in Virgo in the 6th or in the 10th, tell them to do a vocation, some vocational training, por ejemplo. You need to always be working, dedicated to work and dedicated to service. You must take care of your body. You should expect to work without getting paid or getting paid sufficient for your work. You need to develop perfectionism. Everything is about virtue, so you must be virtuous. You should never have too much pleasure. Poor. Exactly. Most important is health. You need to have a low profile. You should never be outstanding. Fuck. Can you imagine a Leo with a Saturn in Virgo? What? They don't know what the fuck to do. Of course they're going to be psychotic. They're not going to understand what's wrong with them. And the guilt, los látigos que se van a dar, increíble. Okay. Libra. Okay, Saturn and Libra. It all has to do with society, with marriage or partnerships. All about image and all about appearances. And I have a triple Libra next door. She doesn't have Saturn in Libra, but that's Libra. Now, the important thing to know, because it's interesting, I have Saturn in Gemini, but in the Libra house. So eso me va a pertenecer. That's another way to give the layer, the tattoo to the person. So just like when we look at the sun, you're a sun in what?
In Cancer.
No, I know, but 10th house? Okay, so you have a Capricorn tattoo, right? A Capricorn sock. Same thing with this. You have Saturn in Pisces, but with a Virgo tint. I have a Saturn in Gemini, but with a Libra tint. So that's important to remember. So the thing about the marriage, specifically in, or the partnerships in the Libra, Saturn and Libra, they will follow, hence, and I did not know that when I wrote this, they will follow the marital home. Look at my number 5. The home is the marital home. You will repeat la casa de los ancestros, el tipo de pareja. So, if your parent, let's say your dad was a pilot and your mom was home alone, or a firefighter, and your mom was home 2 out of the 3, 3 out of the 7 days, you will mimic that. Or your grandfather, your great-grandfather. Mm-hmm. It's important that you mimic that relationship. I thought I was going to be married forever because my parents were married for 52 years. It didn't work out the first time. Oh, hell, it was going to work out the second time. And one of the things I noticed in myself was with this second divorce is that I allowed everything. I said, under no circumstance will this end because of me. Because I ended the first one. So the guilt of that, the lack of love, this one was going to be like my parents, 52 years. And my in-laws are married 40, my ex-in-laws. And my ex-in-laws were married until he died just last year, 60 years. So you see, I was never with anyone whose parents were divorced, which is unlikely right now. You know what I'm saying? It's because of the Saturn in the 7th. It's kind of like having a Saturn in Libra. So remember when you're doing a mandato that the person has values of both. The house, which is like Libra, and Gemini, which is what I have Saturn in. These people in the ancestry had a public role, a very strong social life. They worked in fashion, aesthetics, or like pastry chef, things like that. Delicate food, pretty art, creative, things like that. Okay. The values, your partner, husband or wife, has a very important value. That link is very important. That person, you, if you have it, you're this way, or you attract this in your partner, has to be a loyal, responsible person in society. So if you have a Saturn in Libra, you cannot have someone that has a loud mouth, that is out being trashy, because tiene que respetar las normas, unless of course that person's that way, and that's what their values are. But if we're talking about Libra, y normas sociales, you're going to want someone like Stepford Wife, or like, remember, not Desperate Housewives, was it Desperate Housewives? Do you remember Bree, the redhead? Así. Todo perfecto, todo. Yeah. It's Hera. Okay, aunque Hera hacía su esposa. They are all about social customs. So they're going to be the ones that send you the thank you note. They're the ones that are going to put out the baby announcement. They're the ones that are going to prepare your baby shower. Todo como debería de ser. Oh, hell if they're going to run off to Vegas. You don't do that. And you invite every single person you've ever met in the world, and you have a 2,000 person wedding, even if you can't afford it, because that's what you're supposed to do. How are you going to invite Sally and not Johnny, her brother? Never are you to express your emotions strongly in public. You never show anger. You're always composed. TJ doesn't have Saturn in Libra, but he has a Libra ascendant. Very close is his Saturn in Scorpio, but honestly, this is like him. That man is so composed, and I lose my shit. The day of the divorce, and he just stays composed. And when he writes you a message, it's in perfect form, with dots and I's and T's crossed y todo appropriate. Y yo soy una loca cubana histérica. Que if he would have had Saturn and Libra, we could have never empatado. Because I would not have honored that. Me compose my emotions in public? Have you met me? So imagine. Always avoid conflict.
Right.
Never should you be alone. Because remember, your partner is super important. Appearances are everything. And you must work at your marriage. So imagine not even having Saturn in Libra. I had that tint. I didn't want to work on my first marriage because I wasn't in love, but I was in love with TJ. I would have accepted anything. Anything. Because you work at your marriage. So it's a tint. It's not my whole thing because I'm obviously not like that. And I'm not about appearance and things like that. Pero esa partecita I have, that aire, because it's in the 7th. Scorpio. Okay, it has to do with death, sexual taboos, inheritances, what's this called? When you not inherit the